Right, guy. Yeah? Sorry, guys. Can we get everybody to stop talking for a few minutes? Silence. Hello? Right, everybody. Bit of quiet. We turn down the music there, man. So everybody knows why we're here today, to officially open the gym. Where's Davey? He's surely signing something there somewhere. We'll give him another 30 seconds. So first of all, kind of a bit of a build-up. I'm going to introduce you to a few characters here, and they're going to give you a small 1 or 2 questions each. So you've got Jim Doyle. Jim has been involved. Everybody here has something in common. They've all been involved with Nolan Health and Fitness over the last few years. They all have a passion for sport. They're all still standing. So we've got Jim Doyle. Jim has been involved in hurling teams throughout the years. Morris, he calls himself the unluckiest man. He's got a heart transplant, kidney transplant, 1 leg, 2 new hips, and it was a big aspiration for us over the years that he kept training, kept coming into us. The first program I did for him, it probably took me about 20 hours. I said, holy hell, why am I going to train this fella? And I have to say, it became a pleasure to know him and become a friend, and still standing, fighting, and I think it's a lesson to us all. I think he deserves a round of applause. We adopted Bernie she was the Kerry senior football captain. She arrived into the gym one day looking for a team and a club, bought up by a certain fella, and she became very, very involved in Wexford football. We're trying to coach her out of retirement again. She trains in the gym 3 or 4 times a week. Bernie Breen. Paul Morris. Give her an out slap, lads. Paul Morris, no introductions. He came to us probably about 6 years ago. Only a chap. And look where he is now. Connor Swain, another one was with us for 7 or 8 years. I suppose Connor's passion was a tough one. He left the club here to travel every single night to Horswood to train because he had a dream. His dream was to play in goal for Wexford. Took him a while, but last year he did it. Connor Swain. Right. Sean Murphy came to me on work experience 5 years ago for 9 months. Could have killed each other the first few days. Now look where he is. Probably one of the best hurlers Wexford has produced. I suppose when I was a kid, the next fella, Podge Courtney, we were looking up to a serious hurler. Came back after even training his own kids for years, and I met him up one day training Jake. Jake was 4. You had to be 6 to hurl in one of the cool camps. I went to the toilet. He had Jake out on the field. That's the passion this man has for hurling. The next fella, I met him in Minneapolis playing handball a couple of years ago. He was on about training. We got to know. He became one of Kilkenny's top PTs. He's a world under-23 champion and a top trainer and a fitness instructor at 23, so it can be done. I'm still struggling at that at 43. He's there, 23. Shane Dunn. Kieran Kavanagh, our own Bunclody man, he made the development squad this year for the county senior football. He came to us looking for a programme 2 years ago. Now he's on placement here, and he's one of the future of Wexford football. So I brought him in because he was a staff member. And the last chair was for Liam Spratt. He should be here in a minute. The memory man, we call him. I don't think he doesn't know any sports person in the country, maybe even the world. He should be here in a few minutes to answer a question or two. Claire O'Connor from the Camogie Club sends her an apologies. She was supposed to be here. She trained with us for years. Sick kid, and the rest of the girls are training who've been involved with us for years. And I got another message today off Sean O'Brien, the rugby player. Sorry you can't make it today. He says to me, you're mad, but you always knew that. So that's the type of passion that we're going to deal with today. So I'm just going to ask the lads a couple of questions. 10, 15 minutes, and then I'm going to get Davey and Morris to run down and cut the ribbon. Okay? So we'll start off with Bernie Breen. Bernie, what keeps you going? Into the gym 3 to 4 times a week?
Well, I suppose, like, going to your gym, I suppose when I first came up here, like, it's a top class gym, super equipment inside there. And I suppose it's just good for, I suppose, my own health and fitness also, just to keep going, you know. Training 3 to 4 times a week, which is ideal really for sports. And he's gone. Will I ask you something? So, and we're finished.
Good. In there, Davey. Right, the last two that just popped in here as well was, we all know Tom Hogan from the Ireland's Fittest Family. Tom was in around us for a numerous of years, so I'm going to ask Tom, put him under pressure, just rushed in late, a few things. This man has represented Ireland in running at the top level. He was only telling me 2 days ago that he was going to do an all-night marathon. Right, I think it was tonight, or was it last night, Tom?
Last night, yeah.
Last night, and he's here today. So I just wanted to ask Tom, what keeps him going, and what's going to bring him back with Davey in a couple of years to win Ireland's Fittest Family?
I don't know, I suppose the kids keep me going, you know. Trying to inspire them to get out and do their own thing in a couple of years and keep them going, that's about it.
Well, I'm sure you'll be going for another 10 years, Tom. I seen Bernie White sneaking in there as well, if you could come up here. Next question will go to Paul. Paul, have you got anything to inspire these young kids coming up and down in the future?
No, I'll just say to them, whatever your passion is, whether it's hurling, whether it's football, soccer, whatever, give it your absolute everything. And, you know, there's nothing going to be achieved without hard work. You know, you're not going to win trophies, whether it be whatever sport you're into, and it doesn't have to be hurling or it doesn't have to be football. It takes hard work, and it involves coming into the likes of Sean's gym here, couple of nights a week training out on the pitch and doing stuff on your own. And, you know, I'll just say, be hard working and be honest with yourself, and you'll definitely go a long way towards achieving what you want to achieve.
Thanks, Paul. I suppose the common bond here, you see, is sport, lads. It's great. It gets the kids out. We meet people. Like I'd say Tom didn't even know Davey was here today, or well, everyone knew Davey was here today. I'd say Davey didn't even know Tom was here today. We all have a common bond. So Liam is coming in here now. Stand up there, Liam, you'll be next. Conor Swain, what drove you down to New Ross, or to Gusseran Horswood every night of the week in the winter to get on that #1 jersey?
Sure, look, everyone probably knows I played football with Ferns for a good few years, and just came down to, like, the lads were more into hurling and I was more into football, so I looked up, found an address down in Horswood, said I was living down there and got transferred down, I suppose.
And it was a dedication, because I remember talking about food and stuff like that, and you leaving work. Conor owns the bus stop shop in Enniscorthy, and he was having something to eat, going down, picking it on the side of the car, down to training, and probably the same on the way back.
Yeah, sure. Like, just because you want something doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like, you have to make it happen. So, just them are the things that had to be done. You had to get down early for training. That meant eating food on the way down in the car. So be it. Like, that's, a small sacrifice for the end goal. Like.
Thanks, Conor. And speaking about food, for this fella, for 9 months work experience, he used to eat horrendous. And now I heard he was doing a cooking class. Davey had him into it about an hour before here today. Yeah. Is that what you're doing?
Yeah, well, just I don't know. My diet was a little bit better than yours at the time. Anyway, no, but I just done a cooking class today. I suppose it's covering all angles. Maybe what lads and men touched on there before. It's kind of, I suppose you have to work on everything. I suppose the gym gave me that. The work experience gave me the chance to kind of work on, I suppose, me physical strength and everything like that as well. So and learn a lot about what it takes gym wise, but the nutrition comes hand in hand. I suppose the old saying is you can't out-train a bad diet, and I suppose when you get to the top levels and of what you're doing, you need to be eating the correct food to fuel your body. So I suppose they all tie in together.
Thanks, Sean. So, Podge, what keeps you the passion of getting up and all them wet mornings with the kids, keep going, listening to all the giving out from all?
What keeps me going is that at the minute it's the likes of Davy and the boys, Paul Morris and all them keeping the thing going in the county. It means so much to the likes of me, because I've been there earlier on in life, that I know exactly what it's feel, and what Davy has, the passion Davy have. Everyone in the room has the passion Davy have. Everyone thinks Davy is stone mad on the line, but he probably is. But when you see him on a one-to-one situation, you don't realise how cool he is and calm he is. And that's, every one of us does that thing. The other thing is that I was going by here last night about 9 o'clock, and I popped in just to have a look at this. And I came in here and there was 40 people inside in the other gym inside there, and there was 15 or 20 here in this place, and the place was rocking. And everyone is in the one buzz, and that's what keeps every one of us going. I go into the schools and I see the kids coming up to me and they're looking up at you, the likes of little Jake there, and they says, "Are we hurling today?" You know, I'm 63 years of age, and the likes of them lads really keep me going now in the schools here. So that's what it's all about. Everyone is on the same wavelength as this hurling and football and sport.
Thanks, Podge. And I mean, only for you, I think the underage would struggle a lot. Shane Dunn, how did you become so successful at 23 to be the world champion? Inspires, and you do know we'll use you to get our retirement again.
Yeah, so I was the same as well. Soon enough, I remember being the same age as these little lads here, and I always wanted to do my best, be my best. Okay, so I used to play a lot of hurling as well, just like you all. I got injured then and really focused on handball, but I always wanted to be best. I look up to all the older lads, so the lads here, the county lads who are on TV. I always wanted to be the best. Always worked hard, just keep on doing what you usually do, just whatever you do to be the best. Up early mornings, gym, diet, and even now in college as well, just to keep learning, always listen to your coach and doing your best.
And Kyle is here, his younger brother as well, another All-Ireland world champion. Hiding somewhere. But I also say, like, Shane eventually had to make that decision. Brian Cody, a few lads were looking for him to hurl. He wanted to win an All-Ireland handball championship. He might go back playing a bit of hurling. Sometimes you have to make a choice. But just because you don't be good at one sport, or whatever, maybe not as good, doesn't mean you give up. You keep going, you find your passion. Last, Kieran, I suppose I better ask you a question.
Yeah, that would be a good idea.
You're enjoying it since you came on placement.
Yeah.
And you came in on your programme. Have you learnt a lot from the setup? And how do you feel that Wexford football is going to go in the future? I see that Galvin's brought in a lot of younger kids.
Yeah. So I started football at the age of 13 and gradually progressed over the few years. At the age of 16, I started doing rehab and strength conditioning, and that's where I got my interest in working in the gym. So at the moment now I'm doing a PLC in sports injury therapy, and they got us to do work placement here in the gym, and from that I got actual work here with Sean, and from there on now I really enjoyed it, and from doing all these programs now I'm starting to progress myself and get on to higher levels of teams. So Paul Galvin has asked me to come up and do a development program with him, so hopefully over the years now I might get onto that team too.
I'm sure you will, and I'm sure you'll probably have Paul Morris for a few injury treatments down the line. Now, Jim, busy man, what keeps you still involved with all these teams? I know you're a passionate Kilkenny man.
Well, thanks, Sean. Yeah, I suppose being from Kilkenny, of course I'm passionate, but I'm also a passionate Wexford man. You know, I had the privilege of wearing a Wexford jersey one time at senior level, so that's a memory that's sticking forever. But I suppose sport, for me or for everybody, will change over the years as time progresses. I'm a bit like Podge on the wrong side of now. I'm 56 next week, so but I still enjoy going to the gym. I still enjoy staying reasonably fit. And I suppose more than ever, it's fiercely important to see what Davy does and Paul does. You know, the Wexford senior hurlers the last couple of years has been phenomenal, and you see the kids latching on to that. And you know, we've hurlers here in the audience even today, you know, so that's part and parcel of it compared to when I was a young fella growing up. We didn't have gyms. I suppose it's essential in that maybe it keeps injuries less and less from the top class players. You know, they're in strength and condition, and it's fiercely important. And then as you progress, I suppose, to my age, you just do it for yourself, I suppose. If your body is reasonably healthy, your mind will be on the ball as well. So that's what keeps me going.
Well, I think your heart, I mean, I remember being on the field with you after Clabon got beat. Myself and you, we had a few tears there 2 years ago. Guts were spilled, but you bounced back. Came back this year at club and fought. And I seen with tears of joy the following year. So you go 1 year, I seen this man absolutely heartbroken on the field. To the following year, tears of joy. It had to be satisfying in the long run.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, a big year for Clabon, unfortunately, I suppose for Bunclody. We beat Bunclody in the final this year. But yeah, we bounced back up, which is great. I know the lads, the year we lost, they were in the gym in Enniscorthy during the winter break for the strength and conditioning, and they really enjoyed it. And it stood to them. We got pipped in the post at the end, but that's sport. It's a great leveler, it's an eye-opener, and all you can do is be your best and bounce back, and they did, and well done to them.
Good. And James spent half the holidays this year in the Rugby World Cup, so job is paying off fairly well, Jim. Next, I'll give you a little chat with Morris. As I said, this man is an admiration to me and to everybody. To still be fighting after, I don't want to go on about it, but a heart transplant, Morris, kidney transplant, one leg, hip transplant, and you still ring me and you're still thinking about coming back again. Fair play. Have you any little bit of advice to a few people here that I'm sure have a little broken finger and they're whinging?
No, just like that. When I went to Sean all them years ago, I wasn't looking for sympathy off anyone, and by Christ, this man wasn't giving me any sympathy at all. He put me through my paces and everything else, and Michael's there as well. Michael was there as well, put me through my paces. But one bit of advice I'd say to you lads, for all the operations and all through it, getting out there, doing your little bit of exercise, it's all good for your mental health. And mental health these days is badly needed out there, you know what I mean? And going to a gym like Sean's helps an awful lot, because there's too much of suicides happening these days, you know. And I reckon if you look after your mental health, it'll go a long way. And if you get talking to Shawnee here, no better man to help you out there, lads. So, thanks, Sean.
Thanks, Morris. Well, I suppose the first day wasn't too bad meeting Morris. The second day, my little man was 3 at the time, and we were in the gym and I was going through stuff. Jake went into the toilet and he carries out Morris's leg out of the changing room. So you can imagine me as a gym instructor trying to teach him, and Jake says, who owns the leg? Because he left it in the changing room. And Emily, that's the kind of a character you have. Another person would have been gone, would have been mortified. I have 2 more, and then quickly to Davy. I'm just going to give you one word with this man, Liam Spratt. He's here today because not on the end of the mic for a change. I don't know anyone that has as much a passion about sport, except maybe Davy, a few of us. This man knows every single athlete in County Wexford, in Ireland, and I'd say along the road here. You're looking surprised. What keeps you so bloody passionate? You never stop.
Old age, I suppose. I have the worst memory, by the way. You said I was a memory man. I have the worst memory in Ireland.
Do you know
but I suppose the passion, I left a venue today where, if you want passion, small parish in Wexford, Rackrow, Cushenstown, have qualified for an All-Ireland final in a fortnight's time. And if you want to see passion, that's what sport is all about. It's about, the great thing about sport, I suppose, is that first of all, it forms a bond. It keeps young people out of trouble, and it's great for their mental health, for their well-being, and for being able to get on with other people, Sean. That's the beauty of sport. It doesn't matter what sport they play, as long as young people play sport. Obviously, a lot of people here would like to see them play J, but I don't think it matters what sport, as long as they play a sport.
Thanks, Liam. And I suppose it's coming back after it, like Jim, like Podge. Bernie White, is Bernie there? Come up here, Bernie. This man came to the gym one time and he was playing a bit of rugby for Leinster, a bit for Enniscorthy, and he persuaded me to throw back on the boots, and myself and him went to war on a field 6 or 7 years. We won a few cups, he battled us off. Now he's a top referee. He unfortunately, unwillingly wanted to give up playing rugby, and now he's a top referee and he coaches and he's giving back to kids. What advice have you got, Bernie?
I think most of people have said what's meant to be said here. Just getting the kids active is the main thing. Doesn't matter what sport they play. And as long as, I think it's more so parents, they need a bit of passion for it as well. Drag the kids out. And from my own sports point of view, things have developed quite a lot in that area. GAA has developed as well, the strength and conditioning, they're all coming up different levels, but this is where it all is. They're looking at their heroes here. Not much more I can say, like all the lads have said. So.
Perfect, thanks very much. Lads, I'm going to put you on to the main man now. All I'm saying is thanks for coming, everybody. Means a lot. As you see, the common bond here is sport. Okay? So, we're all delighted to have Davy Fitz back for another year or two. Okay. Not just here because he's the Wexford manager. He's here because of what I believe he's one of the most passionate, not the most passionate person out there. And that's what I love, and that's what I love about everybody here. I could have had numerous people here today, but everybody here has the most passion. They're all there. So I'm going to say no more. I'm going to let you on to Davy for a minute, and then Davy's going to go down to Mars, cut the ribbon, and we get out of here.
Listen, thanks for that. I'm delighted to be here, and I suppose if you asked me a number of months ago would I be here, I actually didn't think I was going to be here. Probably after the All-Ireland semi-final I made up my mind that I just couldn't keep making the trip, but there was 2 or 3 deciding factors which changed that. One was the boys. I've never worked with a more honest and great bunch of lads, and I mean that sincerely. I actually love going to training and working with them, and if you have a team that will give you 110%, that's all you require, is to go to train and work with boys. But as well as that, we actually have the fun, we have the laugh, but the bond and the family we have together is the most important thing. When we go out to represent Wexford, I just want them to leave their souls outside there. Whether we win or lose, leave their souls out there. And the other thing is not to be afraid. We're not afraid, whether it be Tip, Kilkenny, we actually are not afraid of anyone. And we would have respect for them, but 100% we don't fear any of them. And I think that's the big thing. And the second thing would be, is yourselves. The way I've been treated down here is great. Normally when you're a manager, the amount of abuse that can come your way is unreal. And I don't actually understand that, why people would be that abusive, but it's gas. When my missus came down, we'd won All-Ireland in league with Clare, and we've only won 4 of them. But the abuse I took at the end of it was unreal. And I remember coming down here, Sharon, the first day she came down, she sat in the side of the stand. She said, I don't want to hear any abuse. And then as the games were going on, she moved in and she said, there's actually no abuse here, there's great. And I want to thank you for that. It means a lot to have nice people around, and I love that, and it's great to be back. As regards the young kids and stuff, I love seeing you with hurleys and jerseys, and you're right, I actually don't care what sport you play. I just love you out there, I love you playing. And I think for parents, we have to get away from PlayStations, from games, I'd love to see more kids out doing stuff as much as possible. And even for parents, getting a 20-minute walk or a 30-minute walk, or coming into the gym for 15 or 20 minutes, even for your own mind, is incredible, and I find that myself. How are Wexford going to do this year? I don't know. I'd love, more than anything, I'd love to tell you we'll win All-Ireland, we'll win Leinster. If we do anything like we did last year, I'd be delighted. My job is to keep Wexford up there, and I'm going to try. We've 2 years to try and land something big, and we're going to do it. But there's 7 or 8 teams there, there's nothing between us. I just want Wexford to get an opportunity, and if we get the opportunity, then we'll try and grab it. We were very unlucky last year, but all I'll say to you is there will be good days and bad days. Just stay with us, and we will get it right, and we will go close to it. I'd like to wish you the very best, and you've supported us great, all right? Sean, so thanks very much for that, and we really appreciate it. And just a final message for everyone here is it's nice to be nice. I have that thing in life. It doesn't hurt to be nice. It doesn't hurt to talk to people. I think that's the most important thing in life, and I just wish you all health and happiness for 2020. And up the yellow bellies, alright? And we'll see what happens, okay?
So thanks. So I'm going to get Morris and Davey to come downstairs. Just let him go down first because I don't want Morris to kill himself. When you go in the car park, okay, make sure that the kids are beside you. Some cars around, it's slippy out there, okay? And then I'd like to invite everybody to the golf club. We have a bit of food on after. We'll have a little bit of a socialise and maybe stay on for a bit longer for the rest of the night. I just want to say thanks to everybody, lads, for coming. I know the boys are rushing off there now to a bit of training. They're playing Kilkenny tomorrow, so hopefully some of you can go up. Okay, thanks everybody. So Davey and Morris. You're going as well, yeah. You and Davey. You and...
Jake's name twice.
And you